TradeSquare is Australia's first business-to-business marketplace connecting people, brands and organisations into this diverse ecosystem in a unique global landscape. Through pivoting, transforming and reshaping, Australian businesses have an opportunity to create the model for the future that aligns with the world's needs and leveraging the power of a collaborative approach. Through the TradeSquare podcast, we will bring together dynamic, diverse and thought-provoking leaders from business, government and organisations to have conversations to further enable new thinking for the future. Welcome to TradeSquare, Australia's leading business-to-business marketplace. I'm Catherine van der Meulen, and joining me today is Francesca Alexander, founder of Social Global Grind. This podcast is part of our Learning Squared podcast series. Thanks so much for being part of our podcast, Francesca.
I'm excited to be here.
So tell us, who is Francesca Alexander?
I keep on thinking like it changes. So like almost every decade I change a little bit. I mean, I was everything and above. I used to identify myself on what I did. So I used to be a makeup artist. So that was definitely what I did, in West Hollywood. But now it's changed. And really the essence of, I think, who I am right now is I am a person that likes to think that they are a entrepreneurial activist. I'm here to help promote and showcase businesses, small businesses in particular, to really put out their voices out there. And what that means for who I am, I'm just somebody that really wants change in the world. And I like using the medium of social media to do it.
And so tell me about that change you are wanting to see in the world. What does that mean?
I think the last 2 years, and I will say this, I'm a new Kiwi. I live in New Zealand. However, I'm from Los Angeles, so I'm American. And a lot of the changes that we're seeing that's happened in the States in the last 2 to 4 years has really touched me in a way that I want to be able to help promote change, help promote brands that really are looking forward to what Mary Portas calls the kindness economy. So really just well-rounded, people first, environment, kindness, those sorts of principles that should be allowable in business and actually should be promoted within business. That's the kind of change that I'm really looking for.
And so how did you come to found Social Global Grind?
So Social Global Grind was a complete accident. I was working in a marketing department with a beauty company, and some ex-colleagues, I used to work for MAC Cosmetics, and some ex-colleagues from MAC would ask me to help their celebrity clients learn how to navigate through social media. And at the time it was Twitter. So I really loved it, and I just couldn't talk enough about how cool social media was, how cool Facebook was at the time. And so I really started this natural education process, but really about sharing. And that grew into a business almost overnight, and almost unbeknownst to me too, because, it's like, oh, well, we should pay you for this. I didn't even think of that. You should pay me for this. But it started to progress into something where I came from the beauty industry, but I really found my social media career starting in the tech world, and starting from there, just sort of grew a client base for small, medium businesses, SMEs really, and sort of grew it from there. So it's almost every industry I work in, and started curating social media and teaching businesses how to be relatable on social media.
And so what are 3 things that you've done in the past 3 years that you are super proud of?
I think the one that just came top of mind when I was just thinking about this question is that I walked away about 3 years ago from a really well-known global agency, and it really rekindled what I was doing with Social Global Grind in the first place. And so I launched it. I'm now an LLC in New Zealand, a social media boutique agency, and really proud of that, because it was about, getting rid of that self-doubt that I should actually be probably more valuable client side, when really the value is starting what I'm doing here, supporting people that work with me, growing the relationships with our clients. I'm really proud of that. It's really funny once you do it for yourself instead of a company. You start to feel some sort of weird validation, and also you do feel a little skittish, but it's really great to be able to do this on my own.
And so what are some of the key elements to building a brand through social media?
I think the number one, basic necessity is showing who you are. And that's, we're still stuck on, that Simon Sinek, know your why. And I think it's almost becoming like a corporate construct when we really have to start demonstrating who we are by the actions that we do in business and demonstrating that on social media. I think demonstration on a product, a feature, a benefit, that's the way to get any client to actually look in. So if you're doing that on social media, consistently, you're going to get more of a, that people draw into you. What's going on with you. I think that there are several brands that are doing that really well, but I think when you push through your brand and show who you are, that's the magic.
Absolutely. And I think all brands definitely need to show their true magic.
Definitely.
So how important is it to showcase your brand with quality imagery and photography through your social channels?
So this is the thing. It actually, for me, it changed about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks ago, I would have said the quality of the images have to be perfection. And they still sort of do when it comes from a bigger brand perspective. Certainly, you want that sort of glossy look, editorial look on any of the images, high resolution, yes. However, we are seeing these huge strides and changes through TikTok, meaning that if you had a rickety, shaky hand video, that is actually that registers a bit more, and people are more interested in that. I think that a really good mini case study on that are some of the fashion brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel. When they tried to actually activate themselves on TikTok, it wasn't landing because in the sphere of that Instagram perfection. And so what people are really looking for are, breaking through that is it fourth wall and really coming to the forefront and showing who they are. And so if there is somebody, I would suggest like going even on the runway and filming it live. That's with a hand, not a tripod. Don't make it perfect, and have a bit more of that personality. That goes further now. Instagram is realizing that. And the reason why I said it changed a bit is because this month, Instagram is leaning more toward replicating themselves into more TikTok type features, ergo more videos. So there you go. So we're going to see images, yes, still being used, but really we're going to transition everything into video.
And is that really that kind of user-generated content that you're really talking about, or is it about the brands actually creating something that feels like user-generated content?
There's a lot of talk on, the influencers becoming the next brand. So it's not so much as brand ambassadors as what is that influencer actually showing us and sharing with us in a different way than what we've normally seen that. So it's we usually have like that sort of brand perspective, and then we have somebody that is there that is an influencer. But this time we're actually looking for the influencer to share with us what the brands that they're really excited about. So they're almost switching the tables. It's really, really interesting.
And so what are 3 tips that you could highlight to curate dynamic content?
I think the first thing is try to be original. There's a lot of, I guess, controversy out there that a lot of people are ripping off really great creators, in particular, I will say, Black creators, and they're turning it into theirs. And that is probably the biggest rub right now within the industry. But what we want to be able to do is come up with original, just you, who you are, and showcase that. The other thing is, speaking about social justice, don't be afraid to share your thoughts as a company regarding social justice. That will actually help resonate and amplify your voice and help with allies to really come out there to really support how important social justice is, and all of those social justice causes that are out there. It also will bring you a faster alignment to your audience when you start to attach yourself to these causes. And it could even be an environmental cause. Whatever it is the company is really behind, it should be showcased. And finally, engage with everybody who is following you. Just drop them a little note. I personally like to do it, especially if you're doing a very small brand, a brand-based business, is leave them a voice activated sort of email. And you can do this on Instagram. Just say, hey, what's going on? I see that you followed me. Thanks so much. I'm going to check out your content. Just something really small and sincere will go a long way.
Very, very cool. So how important is video for brands to bring into their social media and marketing?
It's absolutely imperative. And we don't know exactly what Instagram has in store, but what we have been seeing and tracking this year is that they keep on taking features that are widely used on TikTok, and then they're starting to use it on their platform. So what we're seeing right now on TikTok is that they are doing a lot of type of videos. There are some that do demonstrations of product. They do explainer videos on how to do things if it's a product or service, which is really great. And they also do anything from showing like the day of the life. So I would say go on TikTok and see what's going. That is the base trend of how we're performing on every video. And what I do for my clients is that we actually do this type of video, this style of video, and place it on something like LinkedIn, because that actually is getting a higher view than the basic image and then a small article. This is quicker, it's easy to digest, and it's faster. So we're going to have to compete in that faster space by using videos.
And so what are some of the key things to consider when creating a social strategy that really create an impact?
I guess I can't stress this enough. And this is something that I have to do too. And I'm always stopping myself from doing it, but we have to get ourselves in front of the camera. And that's going to optimize your impact. It's really simple. So, we need to connect with those brands and services and whoever's providing those services. The easiest way to resonate with your viewers is just be in front of a video that's featuring you. You just do it, and you don't get caught up in criticizing yourself or retaking or redoing. My favorite trick is do it and post it. and don't feel like you're alone in that. I mean, even Julia Roberts hates looking at herself in film. So it's all good.
I think after all of my years of Bikram yoga, of looking at myself in the mirror for 90 minutes 4 times a week, you really start to get used to who you are. So
there you go.
I feel good that I have evolved out of that space of
nice
judging myself, I guess, when I'm filming video content. And so what are some of the brands that really do all this well? The imagery, the photography, the videography, the social media and marketing, anyone who really kind of shines out for you that brands should be looking at?
I really like, there's a New York fashion designer called Rebecca Minkoff. And I've been following her career since I think 2009. And what has happened is that she let a younger junior person that did her social media, they just said, you know what, let's not put pictures of you and your kids and your family in there. People that are my age are not interested in that. We don't want to see it. And it went against her gut, but she went, all right, well, we'll do it. And she saw the engagement sort of plummet because there's no connection. And that really was her whole thing. She just wrote a book about connecting with her, her customer avatar through her clothing line, through the handbags that she's done. And a lot of it comes back to her essence, who she is. And if you go on Instagram and you check out Rebecca Minkoff, you will see, yes, there's a product, but there's also her. It's just an amazing and almost like a journal of what New York, modern New York looks like, the feel, the fashion, the influence that she has, who she is. And also before this, I even have to say a couple of years before I saw this, Diane von DVF. And
Diana
I can't think
someone.
of her. Diana von. Oh my God!
Designer.
I'm such a. I know. Diane von Furstenberg. Oh my gosh! I don't even know why I completely forgot her name. But she has been around 50 years plus. She's the one that invented the wrap dress in the 70s. She before Rebecca Minkoff. And she was doing this in publications. She was doing this in Vogue. She was really sharing who she is. In a New York fashion perspective, she's also one of the coaches and chair people on CDF, who does the fashion branding and scholarship. So it's just really important work that they're doing. And they both have this of empowerment, not only the fashion community, but for other young women in business. So they are phenomenal. You should absolutely check them out.
And so over the last couple of months, TradeSquare has been focused on celebrating women and the theme of choose to challenge. How do you choose to challenge in your role?
Oh gosh, I think it's a part sarcasm and part just kind of a proud moment for me as well. So I'm a walking political topic. I'm a woman of color. So no matter what I do, it's kind of like that whole thing. It's, if you're always going to be confronted with it. Are you a feminist? How did you get in here in the first place? These are common questions that women of color actually go with. So pushing up against them and going up, the best, I guess, thing that's ever happened with me as being a woman of color is that I get told no a bit more often than a lot of other people. And it's so great because I've learned how to choose that no and actually rework it to a yes. And it may not be the yes that I first looked at, but I will find a way. I will find an opportunity. I will get in. And it's one of the best, I think, really cherished sort of, things that I can actually put in there that is a challenge. But I love the challenge of being told no, because I know that I will change it to a yes. So it's really important. Also, too, it's now even easier, from 10 years ago, to create your own platform on social media, even podcasts as well. And you can self-publish. Self-publishing is the new self-care.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Francesca, for sharing your world and your wisdom through Learning Square at TradeSquare.
Thank you.
For more information on TradeSquare, head to www.tradesquare.com.au and support Australian business economic recovery and growth with a collaborative approach to the future of business.